Okay, we're starting here on project 16. As you can see, there have been a few shots at this video, primarily because the instructions in the book don't really work as well as I'd like. So the first thing it says to do, and if you're wondering where I'm at, we're on step 4 because I've already given you the file and file name in Canvas. So the next thing we're going to do is turn this to landscape. I first want to make it clear what we're talking about when I say landscape. So normally when we work with paper, we work with it in the portrait position, up and down, okay? And so we want to change this to landscape. So I'm going to come over here to File. You need to be doing this. Page Setup, Landscape. And while we're doing this, we're going to change the margins, which is the blank areas around the edges of the paper, to 0.25 or 1/4 inch. So I typed in 0.25. I press the Tab key, 0.25, Tab, 0.25, Tab, 0.25. And now we've got all of these set to 0.25. And I'm going to click on OK. Now you see the page is now set in the wide position. Great. Okay, the next thing we're going to do over here is we're going to, and if we're still on step 4, we're on 4C, we're going to format 3 column, more options. So I went to format columns, more options, 3. And it says to keep these at a 1/2 inch wide spacing. Okay, double checking the instructions. Yes, that is what it says. Good, apply. Okay, now this is where we sort of move a little ways away from the instructions. We're going to jump to step 10 and work our way back to step 6. It really works better this way. So I'm going to go ahead now and zoom in just a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, and you can see what column I'm in by these white blank areas up there. So each of those white blank areas is indicating the column, and we have 3 columns. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose a font. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Meriwether Normal. You can also use Times New Roman. Brie Serif maybe works. Sure, I'll do Brie Serif this time. Shouldn't matter that much. Hopefully it won't. But again, remember that when you're not sure what font size you should be using or what font, they just use Times New Roman. But in this case, any of those 3 will work fine. We basically just want a serif font. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and hit the caps lock key, and I'm going to go online and mobile banking. Oops. And okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter there. I want to center align this, so I'm going to take that right there, and I'm just going to center align that. And now I'm down here. I'm going to hit enter once more. We're still in Brie Serif font. And I'm going to come back over here and get our text. The text we're going to get right here is Slater Bank offers all the way down to applying for loans. Just going to go ahead and right click on that. You can also press Control C. Either one works. I'm right clicking just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's get this a little bit out of the way. Control V. Okay, so right click and paste. Good. Okay. Now you notice it did not come in the font I wanted. That is not the end of the world. I'm just going to go ahead and select all of this, and I'm going to change that to Brie Serif really fast. 14 point. It all still fits on this page. Great. And you may notice as you look that the color is slightly different. And again, that has to do with just what was in Canvas. And so I just want to come over here and change the color to black. Great. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is you see the colon here, and a colon, as you know from your ELA class, comes before a list, and then these items are listed under it. So I'm going to go ahead and select these, and I'm going to go ahead and use bulleted list. There we go. Okay, and that basically finished this column. Now that we're going to jump to step number 8. Okay, and this is where it sort of gets a little bit weird. So we went to 10, now we're on step 8, and again, I'm going to center a line. And I'm just going to go ahead and type it in, Slater Bank. And that's, I've got a lot of it's in all caps in the book. I got a lot of very odd things for the spelling of Slater. Slater. The publisher uses the name Slater frequently. Just what they do. Enter, enter. I'm going to turn the caps lock key off. Of course, being my usual lazy self, I'm not actually going to type the rest of this. I'm going to come right here, And I'm going to grab all of this, and I'm purposely going to grab this little thing at the end just so you see what happens if you bring in to Canvas a pic or into Google's a picture if it just doesn't work. Control C. Because yeah, that was actually linking to a picture. And Control V, and you're going to notice we get that error unsupported image type, and that's that box right there. I'm going to backspace over that box. I'll click on dismiss. Good. Now again, I don't want to hassle with straightening out the formatting, so I'm just going to click over here somewhere, my paint roller, and I'm just going to drag it over all of this. Good. And then I'm going to, of course, center a line. Should have left that open. Center a line. Great. I do see this going on right here. So you see that. So I'm going to click on this here, and I'm going to format paint. I'm going to copy that format from right there to make it fit. Great. Okay. Except that this really shouldn't be blue and underlined. So I'll go up here, underline, and font color black. Great. And now it all fits, and it looks better. Okay. And that's kind of the big focus, is just making the stuff look good. Now we're just going to bring in a picture of it. Kind of looks like Bank to You. So I'm just going to come over here to Insert, Image, search the web. I'll come over here and type in bank. Hit enter. And I'm going to scroll down, and I happen to know that this one here does very well on our black and white printer, so it's the one I'm going to use. Really, anything that looks like a Bank to You is fine here. Insert. Great. Okay, and that was that column. Now, the easiest way to get to the next column, which will be step 6, is going to be just to hit the enter key a few times. There we go. Now we're at the top of the next column. Okay, the next one. Now on this one, we're going to go ahead and type in finance in your future, again in all caps. So I'm going to press the caps lock key. I'm also going to change this to about 50-point font, 50. Okay, great. Enter. Okay, finance. So, and you don't really need to be hitting enter each time because they're not going to fit otherwise. I don't even know why I hit enter that time, but it's irrelevant. Okay, good. Now we can go ahead and 25-point font. Change that to 25. Good. Caps lock key off. Slater Bank. Good. Enter. And now we're just going to put the address of the bank, and we have that right here. So we don't need to type that in a second time. Control C. Right under Slater Bank, and that's going to be 20-point font, just to let you know. 20. And Control V. Slater Bank. Making sure that that's 20. Okay, for whatever reason, when we pasted, because we pasted something that had a 14-point font, so I'm just going to come in here. 20 is not an option, not the end of the world. 20. Good. Okay, and guess what? We're done with the front side of this document. So enter, enter, enter. Now it's going to take us to the top of the second page. Okay. And when you fold this up, it'll all work together and make a lot of sense. But we're now on step 11, okay? And at this point, correction, 12. At this point, it starts kind of looking like what you would expect in this document. Caps lock key on, checking. Remember, shifted 7 for that ampersand. Okay. And that's because I still had this set to 20, if you're wondering why that happened. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, put that back to 14 like I've had it for everything else. Enter. Good. And again, I'm going to now left align. Good. And so what are we going to keep your money safe and secure? I want to show you a tool here. Okay, in each of these ones, they've capitalized the beginning of each called title case. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see a problem here. You know what happened, of course, was I typed in the caps lock key on, but I wanted to show you something here, and that's why I did it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this text that obviously isn't right, and what's more, M-O-N-E-Y. Good. Keep your money safe and secure, and you can see I did that wrong because I had the caps lock key on. So I'm going to come up here to Format. Come down here to Text. capitalization. So if you've been typing along and you've got everything backwards, you can easily fix this, okay? Uppercase, you can change everything to lowercase, uppercase, title case. And then they just had that and, oops, caps lock key off this time. And there we go. And now it looks like what's in the book, okay? Just so you see how to do that. So next, we're going to come over here back to our project here, keeping your money safe and secure, and typical banking services. Now, I purposely left this one messed up, and I'll show it to you when we get there. A lot of times, though, when you copy stuff off the web, so I'm going to go ahead and copy all this. And I'm just going to right-click and copy. You can just press Control-C. It works just fine. Control-V. Good. A lot of times when you copy stuff off the web, you wind up with these really strange line breaks, okay, which would actually be called a carriage return line feed. So what I'm going to do here to fix this, and you get these a lot, you need to fix them if you're turning stuff in for school. I'm going to click right before cards, backspace. Now they're bunched together, not a problem, space bar, and now the whole thing is fixed, okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and select and come up here. I'll just tell you the reason I didn't click on this one is, remember, this one's in title case. So I do want to come up here and click on something that is done right. Click on Format Painter. Now I'm scrolling the red scroll wheel. We could have also gone over here and grabbed this, okay? Now I'm just going to drag that Format Painter over all of this and say, good, done. Okay, the only thing, now we're going to just add another picture that looks like checking to you. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I hit enter once, and now I'm going to come over here to insert image, coming down here, search the web, and I'm going to go ahead and type in checking account. And I'll go find a picture. It kind of looks like checking accounty to me. Checking account. Let's see here. This is somebody's check register. Okay, there's one. That's good. So go ahead and click on insert. By the way, if you were really doing this in a contest like they're doing at the, as like the scenario is set out, you would want to be careful to not use anything that's actually identifiable, anything that has anybody's name on it. I just hit enter a couple of times there to pop myself back to the top now of the center panel. Okay, and here I'm going to go ahead and type in certificate of deposit, caps lock key on. I talked more about what a certificate of deposit is in the class, but here we're just focusing on getting this one done. I turn the caps lock key off, make your money grow. Good. Enter. Now I'll come back over here to the document. Oh, I wanted to center align the word certificate of deposit. So you saw what I did. I could have triple clicked on it. I could have clicked and drug. They're all going to do the same thing for me. Center align. Good. Good. Now I'm going to come over here to this one. Another way to save money and watch it grow. CDs are a good, safe investment vehicle. Control-C. And Control-V. And you again see that weird thing that happens sometimes when you copy things off the web. I think I only put it in the 2 times just to let you see what I was talking about. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on something that is right. I'm going to click on Format Painter. And I'm just going to drag that over everything that is wrong. Great. And now that's all fixed. Good. Enter. Just going to hit enter until it's good. Now the next one we're going to go type in caps loan services. Oops. When people are watching me, my typing gets terrible. Okay, and again, we're going to center the words loan services. So I grab that, center align. Good. Enter. And car loan. Car loans are certainly, before getting a car loan at a car lot, you should definitely check with the local bank or whoever you work with. Very simply, I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people, but for a long time, GM Control-C, and it is, actually, I'm going to right click so you guys see me copying. Oops, right click so you guys see me copying. Good. Okay, so a lot of times, Control-V, GM and Ford actually don't make money on their cars a lot of the time. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Where they make their money, their consistent money maker, is the car loans that they write for you. And So you want to try and shop around to see if that's really going to be your best deal. Frequently, particularly when you're getting like your first car, it probably won't be. Okay, so I actually hit enter twice. I don't know if that's going to fit. We're going to find that out in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and type in student loan. But you certainly should shop around, check your local bank before just taking the word of the people at the car lot. That the people at the car lot probably are not going to have the best loan terms for you. Sometimes they do. Okay, the next one here, student loans. I will make a quick comment. Don't take out a student loan at a bank. Okay, right now, Control C. As I'm making this video, but your teachers literally have not paid on their student loan in years because they've been in all of the COVID-19 deferments. The other issue is, again, as I'm making this video, things may turn out to be different by the time you're watching this video. There's a student loan forgiveness under consideration. One of the things to keep in mind, that only applies to federal student loans. Okay, it does not apply to bank student loans. A lot of these things that benefit the student loan borrower are not being applied to people who have bank student loans. Something to keep in mind. Format Painter. Okay, and there we go. So this is basically done. The next thing you would do is print this off and fold this. And literally that is it. And you would fold it right here between your future and bank when you're folding it. And then after you've created a crease here, you'd take this edge over here and tuck it into that crease and fold there. And that really is all you're doing on this one. You need to remember, turn it in. And that was project number 16.